Hey y'all. Let's hope the audio works. Hey y'all. It does. Wow, I was way behind. That is a delay. How's it going, everybody? Hope you are all well. Hey, Sandy. How is everyone doing so far? How's your weeks going? Yeah, I hope you all are doing well. Sandy said Trina and Spencer are on fire. They are. This is why I really wanted to make them kind of the center of the live stream today. Because there's a lot of discussion going on. And people are raising some valid points. And I thought I'd get your guys' take as well. Apologies in advance if I run off here and there. Spring has sprung in Edmonton. And people cut their lawns today, which means allergies are super fun today. But I'm prepared. I have allergy pills next to me. So I might run off screen and take them quickly before we really get into it. But yeah. What do we think of GH so far this week? And just in general, before we get into the main topic. Because obviously the Nurses Ball is over. There was no final performance. The finale was literally Lucy appearing alive and, no closure. And Monday they just kind of went full steam ahead with the Victor stuff. So, plus the annoying situation that Victor had kidnapped Obrecht, which means Willow and Michael's story is getting dragged out even longer, which... I don't know. I feel like Milo fan or no Milo fan, I think everyone is in agreement that they just want this storyline done and over with at this point. Oh, my dog's barking. Angel, you said it's been good. You're watching Hulu every night? Yeah. I'm actually really excited. I honestly, you guys know I was pretty disappointed with the kickoff of the 60th celebration, but I think this time round, it kind of I think it's they're really focusing on the Glory Days adventure sort of style that GH was known for. So I'm thinking the Victor stuff is really the 60th anniversary celebration more than the Nurses Ball was, which they should have rolled with from the start, to be honest. Actually, earlier I was rewatching the 50th anniversary episode, and it reminded me that the first Nurses Ball back was also coinciding with the 50th anniversary of the show. Nicholas Chavez making me feel baby cougar with his shirt off. Yeah, I had to take a second to myself because I'm like, I'm into older, but dang. And then also, I think someone somewhere posted a comparison to like a shirtless Tyler Christopher and a shirtless Nicholas Chavez, and they look so much alike. That they had to have based the hiring of Nicholas oh my god, Nicholas Bechtel, or not Nicholas Bechtel, you know who I mean, Nicholas Chavez. They had to be considering the looks of Tyler Christopher when hiring him because they look so much alike. And yes, we did see an old Laura clip back in time from the original Ice Princess story. That's another reason why I wanted to kind of make Sprina the topic, because there's so many anvils that are comparing like Luke and Laura to Spencer and Trina, which is interesting. First of all, let me just start by saying there will never be another Luke and Laura. For many, many reasons. One of them being that it's not the 80s anymore. soaps have such a much lower viewership. Generally speaking, they have such a, smaller budget. GH also had Gloria Monty, who was, kind of just like the lead of the pack when it comes to soaps, and very innovative in her storytelling and doing things that we've never seen before on soaps. So, there was a lot more going into the show logistically than just Luke and Laura's popularity. So, in terms of like, will Sprina be the next Luke and Laura? I don't think so. But there could never be. There's not a single couple out there that will ever kind of touch that. Mostly because we're 40 years on and soaps are in a different era. You know what I mean? But yeah. But I will say, I guess, if we take away the reality of what the soaps were back then and what the soaps are now, and we just kind of focus on today's standards for soaps, Sprina seemed to be extremely popular. Sprina are their own. Sprina, exactly. Andrea, you said Sprina's on fire. Yeah, no, I'm loving them. You guys know I'm a fan of them, for sure. Everything's like free, huh? They have eyes for only each other. Yeah, so I mean, the reason why, and I literally didn't plan this at all like earlier this week. I just, after today, I really wanted to bring the topic up. Just because, like, obviously the last few weeks we've been seeing that GH is more than aware of the buzz that this couple is creating online. I mean, first of all, the billboard in New York Times Square that their fans put together. They had an airplane flying across, the sky at one point with their names on it. Also, social media. They're blowing up on social media. It's crazy. It's been a while since I've seen this big of a sort of kerfuffle over a soap couple. And it's cool to see. Because, yeah, I am a fan of Sprina. Do I think they're a super couple? It's hard to say because, and I've said it in the past many years, the era of super couples is over. But could they redefine super couple to be something different for today's standards? Maybe. Who knows? Sprina all the way power couple. Sandy, you said GH has gold with these. They really do. They have gold with these two. They can take us through to the summer. That's the one thing I'm kind of like somewhat bummed about with this story, is that it's not taking place in the summer. But I get it. Like, they're trying to coincide this adventure storyline with the anniversary, and we've waited long enough for things to really hit the ground running. But I just find it funny. They had Laura and Felicia kind of talking about the past, and Laura talking about her history and how she was trapped on the boat, and asking Felicia if history is repeating itself. And we even seen a flashback of young Jeannie Francis in the Ice Princess storyline herself. And the fact that they have, I keep wanting to say Nicholas, Spencer and Trina in this current Ice Princess storyline, the comparisons are there. And it's becoming more and more obvious that they're kind of connecting one couple to Luke and Laura. Hey Janet. Hey Nathan. No, I don't watch Days of Our Lives, but I mean, I don't know. Are any other couples trending as much as Sprina on other soaps? Let me know if you guys watch other soaps. Like, are they creating the same amount of buzz that Sprina is? Because I'm just going by GH couples. I'm referring to GH couples, because those are the only ones I know. Spencer and Trina in their own right. Well, yeah, because like let's be real, like they're not Luke and Laura, and many. I don't just mean by like they're not a super couple. They are completely different characters. Trina's nothing like Laura. Spencer's nothing like Luke, but they are both played by talented actors with, in my opinion, good chemistry. But chemistry is in the eye of the beholder, so I can't. But hey, Janet. But yeah, I just I think GH is seeing that what they have, and they're rolling with it, and they're rolling with it hard. This is the first time I've seen GH invest in a couple this much in a long ass time, and in a way that wasn't so like, what's the word? It doesn't feel that forced, I don't think, because we've seen the build up over the last couple of years. Whereas before, there was really like, when they try to make these like couples in the past, they kind of shove them down our throats where it's annoying, like where you can, I don't know. How do I explain it properly? The only way I can kind of explain it is like, let's compare, for example, Michael and Willow. I think that they were invested in the couple, but it almost felt like we were being force-fed to like them. So it's like, and because that was so obvious, it just made me like them less. Because, first of all, I was a Willow and Chase fan, and I didn't want Michael and Willow, and it just seemed like they were trying to go for it. GH hasn't had any good couples. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's time I was watching soaps and they get rid of all the interracial couples. It's time for Sprina to shine. Yeah, that's another thing too. Is the race aspect. It's kind of like a new thing to have like an interracial couple so well received in the soap world, considering the soap audience is very not that open-minded in a lot of ways. So the fact that they are getting so much steam is a great thing to see, first of all, but also it's a young couple, and let's face it, I feel like most of the audience for soaps is older, but this is a young couple and they seem to be liked by all ages, which is nice. And hopefully with enough buzz on the internet, they're bringing in some newer, younger viewers as well, which GH and honestly all soaps are in need of. Because, they can only last so long. Soaps have been a dying breed for years now, and it's been sad to see, but it's nice to see some sort of like, uprise in like viewership and buzz. And yes, they also have the 60th year to contend with, so they are getting a lot of media coverage because of that as well, and maybe that's helping. However, like I said, they're on the front of magazine covers promoting the 60th anniversary. That's impressive. Like, this is a young couple. You'd think that they would be focusing on like the veteran characters that have been around for 40 years, like Finola Hughes and Jeannie Francis and Christina Wagner, like all the legendary. And yes, they're there, but Sprina are right up front. It's crazy. Jenna, you were Willow and Chase down. I was too. I was, the other day I was also watching Chase's performance at the Nurses Ball from when he performed and brought Willow on the stage, and that was so adorable. And seemed very like, happy ending-esque. Which is why I was kind of disappointed in like the Nurses Ball this year. There wasn't really any big romantic gestures and moments on the show. And most of the Nurses Balls, they had that in some way, shape, or form especially over the last 10 years. Us old people like to watch the young couples. That's good. And GH, the old audience of older people, maybe in the 50s. And yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, my take, and I can only speculate because I'm only in my 30s myself. But I feel like most older soap fans probably, they have their favorites, and of course they fight for the veteran characters that they grew up with, and they want to see them more. But it's nice to see like newer characters be so well received by people who have been watching a long time. That's nice to see as well, because it's not often that you get new characters that are so easily welcomed and have a warm welcome for that as well. Jason and Willow. Oh, Chase and Willow. Chase and Willow were kind of forced. Yeah, well, I think what worked for them as well is that they were two new characters with no ties at the time. Like, I think when Chase and Willow were together, there was like some like hints that Nina was her mom, but at the same time, Nina was a pretty new character as well. So they weren't really affecting anyone being together. They were just a cute couple, and that's why I liked them. They were their own thing. Hey, Brooklyn. Hoping that Spencer is the one to end Victor. Oh, that'd be so sweet. That'd be so sweet. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really appreciating that they've put Sprina in this adventure story and that they're making the comparisons to the days of like the adventure storylines and the era of the super couples. Hermione said, do you think as a conservative, the guy that rides for GH wants to do it with married? Sorry? I don't know what you mean. Sorry. But yeah, the adventure aspect, I like that they're going with it. And I've missed adventure storylines on GH. I know that they can't ever really be compared to the adventure stories of yesteryear. GH don't have the budget for that. ABC ain't gonna give GH the budget for that. But they're working with what they got, and so far it's not bad. But there's part of me that hopes that like there's a part of me that hopes that they somehow manage to go on location on a boat. And that's only because they showed Laura on location on a boat in the flashback today. But I just hope that they manage to go somewhere that's not the GH parking lot, just for a bit of the story. They've been on a dock before, and like pretty recently in the last 10 years. Trina and Spencer give us pure innocent first time love. True. Going off topic for a second here. Anyone laugh that Sunny knew about Joss and Dex the whole time? So this secret like sex affair that they've been having is just like it was all for nothing because Sunny just knew. Back in the day, there were interracial couples that got great chemistry. They got rid of it. Yeah, it's true. Like, even in recent years, I think of like Carly and Sean and Alexis and Sean. They were both well received, and then they just ended them quickly. But yeah, no, like, it's just nice to see. For many, many reasons, and that's one of them. The racial aspect, it's wonderful to see an interracial couple get as much steam as they have been getting. And it's also nice to see young, newer actors that are insanely talented getting storylines that they deserve, because, you know, I think, and it's not always the writer's fault. I don't want to always shift the blame on the writers. I think the writers are constantly hoping couples will catch on and that the chemistry is good and stuff. But seldom do they get the opportunity where they put a couple together and you can tell they don't really know where they're going with it, but there is enough going on between the two actors that it's building the fan base, and then the fan base is responding and showing that they love them and they want stories for them, and GH sees that and they're going with it. And it's nice to know that the people running the show are paying attention for once. It feels like they almost never do. This time you can really feel that they know they're watching us. They're watching the audience. They want to know what we love and they want to give us what we love. So I appreciate that. Jason and Keisha. Yeah, I forgot about Jason and Keisha. Evangeline and John. I'm going to assume maybe not GH characters. Angel, you said Joss isn't even Sunny's kid. Like, why would he care? She's a Jackson Carly problem. Joss was acting like she was Christina. Well, I mean, I think the reality as well is that Sunny does see Joss like a daughter. Sunny and Carly were married a long time. So, like, I can kind of see it. Like, I can see why she'd think that he cares. But she just looks so dumbfounded. I was like, girl, you did all that for nothing. All the running around secretness and like begging your friends not to tell anyone because Sonny's going to kill Dex if he finds out. Man, Joss, you look like a fool. You look like a fool. You played yourself. But now she doesn't really have a reason to be secretive with Dex. So when Spencer gets back from the adventure, it'll be interesting to see how he embraces them as a couple. He's not going to embrace them, let's be real. But like, it'll be interesting to see what happens next on the Spencer front for them. Andrea, you said, I'm loving Sprina. I have been watching soaps for years and waiting. Some soap actors are lifers and sound so bad that I don't really want to be on the phone. I'll be on the show for more than 5 years. Joss and Dex are all sex right now. They're like, I don't know. Listen, Joss and Dex, they have a fan base too, you know, and I'm not discrediting their fandom at all, or you know, saying they shouldn't have fans. But the relationships between Joss and Dex and Sprina are very different. So I guess there's something for everybody in that sense. I'm a sucker for romance and cheesiness and, you know, the slow burn and the adventures and this and that. So, you know, Sprina are more my speed in terms of what I like. But, you know, some people just want to see people doing the dirty and being, you know, in dangerous situations. I don't know. It is what it is. But, again, it's Sprina that seems to be the couple that's taken real off. Sandy, you said Joss was dressed like a vamp and Trina was dressed like the little princess. Yeah. But, you know, there was once upon a time where Joss was really shown as the Disney princess of GH. You know, with her romance with Oscar, and she was seen as this little wallflower and innocent. And my, how things have changed. In all honesty, though, I do prefer Joss being not as like Disney princess. Like, her mom is Carly. I don't want like a Disney princess for Carly's daughter. I want a hot mess. Just like I want Michael to be a hot mess because his parents are Carly and AJ, and he's just like a pompous ass. Like there's no, I don't know. I like both couples. You can like both couples. There's nothing wrong with that. Do 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 do. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. What do you guys like? What's your take on how they're kind of building Sprina? Like, what do you guys think? Am I the only one seeing like it how I'm seeing it? Jocelyn, she needs someone. Listen, okay, Joss does not need Spencer. First of all, however, what Joss and Dex need is to flesh out Dex's damn character. Okay, because we know nothing about this guy, nothing. We just know that he was, in the army once, and that he's working for Michael. We don't know anything about his personal life. We don't know anything about his family history. We don't know his quirks, and like he's just so deadpan, and then he's just a big goof when he's with Joss, but we don't know anything about the character. Whereas, they've done a good job at fleshing out both Trina and Spencer, which is impressive for Trina because, she's a recast. And Sprina had a following with Sydney, and it carried over into Tabiana. And yes, the characters are different because, Sydney and Tabiana definitely play Trina differently. But it hasn't affected the love of the couple, I don't think. Michael hopefully changes his mind to bring Sunny down. Hard to say. I mean, really, okay, well, it's true. Michael's focus right now is Willow, and that is valid. I'm glad that he's put Sunny off on the side for now. But I don't know. Like, I don't know what it's going to take for Michael to not want to take revenge on Sunny anymore. Someone pointed this out the other day, and it is funny and wild. Like, Michael is more mad about Sunny cheating on his mom with Nina than he was Sunny killing his father. Like, this vendetta has gone on way longer than the Sunny and AJ and Michael thing did. Sandy said Joss and Dex could go on a date to get to know each other. Yeah, they really need to. I'm down to see a date day. Now that they're not, hiding from Sunny, let them like go out in the open and get to know each other and, hang out like normal people outside of a bedroom. See if they have any chemistry beyond sex. Andrea, you're loving it so far. Janet, you said, I agree with you. They have great chemistry. They are adorable, and there is buzz for this couple for sure. GH is doing a great job so far. I agree. I think once Michael brings Sunny down, let's go to Nina's. Nina's going to probably help Sunny out of prison. Yeah, Nina seemed to kind of have a moment to herself where she's decided she's going to embrace Sunny's mob life. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. I think my dog needs to use the washroom. 1 second. I'm coming, George. You okay? I'm coming. Sorry, guys. My family's asleep, so I'm the only one that can let the dog out. Okay, what did I miss? Love them. John and Evangelina is One Life to Live. Okay. Killing off AJ was kind of a rewrite. The guy that plays him is a producer. Oh, I don't think it's not a rewrite. They killed him. And I don't think he he didn't ask to leave. He got fired from GH. So that was a GH choice. And then lucky for Sean Kanon, he found his love in producing, and he's created some pretty successful stuff. They are both great actresses. I do not like Esme for Spencer, or I did not like Esme for Spencer. No, me neither. I mean, it seems so left field that when they at the time that they brought a girlfriend on for Spencer, when they were clearly like, you know, testing the chemistry between Spencer and Trina. Angel, you said even Maurice said Michael being more mad at Sonny for cheating than unaliving AJ is weird. See, there you go. It is ridiculous. I wonder in real life if they are dating Tabiana and Nicholas. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we'd know. But they do seem to get along great, though, I will say. Like in like any behind the scenes videos I've watched of them, or like at their sort of like fan events, they play off of each other well. And Tabiana's hilarious. Still think that Esme's first pregnancy test wasn't accurate and Ace is Spencer's son? I don't think so. Because there's a lot of months in between that, you know what I mean? Why did they fire him though? I don't know. I don't know. Sean Kanan is on Bold now. Interesting. Oh man. But yeah, back on kind of the subject. There's not much more to say. I've kind of said my piece on it, but I don't know. I'm just loving them. I'm enjoying them. I'm excited for what the future holds for them. But where do we think this let's talk about the storyline that's happening then with Sprina and this, you know, right now Victor's got Spencer and Obrecht and Ace held hostage on the Haunted Star. They're setting sail to somewhere. Trina's in there. She snuck in. We don't, like, so far, I don't think Victor's caught on to the fact that she's there. Obrecht is aware that Trina's in the Haunted Star. And I don't know. I'm slightly worried that Victor may have seen Trina's purse underneath the bed. But we'll see. We'll see. Victor has lost his whole mind. Yeah, he's getting sloppy. Everyone's pointing it out. Like, he left basically a trail of breadcrumbs just pointing out that, yes, he's the one that kidnapped Ace. And yes, he's the one that kidnapped Obrecht. And, you know, he's leaving. He's getting sloppy. He's getting sloppy. Sprina, Sprina. Oh, you think they're going to the island with the Ice Princess? I think so too. But, I mean, so I have to wonder, is that what the code on the Ice Princess necklace was supposed to lead to? Victor doesn't know where that island is on his own? That's what my thing is. Like, if they're going there, then, like, Shouldn't Victor have already known where that island was? He's been there before. What else is it supposed to lead to? That's what I'm wondering. But he has the code and he has the key, so, and he's setting sail. So it just seems crazy to me. I don't know. Angeli said, I don't know how they're going to get off that boat. They are in open water. They got to hope that the PCPD and Sunny find them. True. You know, I thought, like, Trina was just going to look for, like, flares and set them off. Sunny has a better chance of finding them than anyone. True, but Felicia also alluded to knowing someone that could help them to Venezuela. And I actually think, like, the island off of, like, the Venezuela thing that they're mentioning, I'm pretty sure that's where the Ice Princess Island was, right? If I'm remembering correctly, it was somewhere near Venezuela. BDI Derek, you said, what's going to happen with the Haunted Star? I mean, you know, I don't think the Haunted Star is going to sink or anything, but like, it's just going to sail to where its destination. Hey, Freddy. And they don't know because it's been rewritten a different place. Yeah, maybe the writers aren't aware that Victor would still know. I don't know. It's hard to say. I suppose Victor may not have memorized where that island was initially. It's possible, I guess. Jake, you said yes. I think you're referring to the Venezuelan island thing, right? That's where it was. Andrea, you said, I am happy for them both because in reality, interracial couples do exist. And it's 2023. Amen. Amen to that. Some people think Victor kidnapped Liesel to resurrect Helena and Stavros. Yeah, he's clearly got a purpose for Obrecht. And maybe he is trying to revive Helena. We know that she's coming back for at least 1 or 2 episodes. But we'll see. If they bring back Helena and Stavros again from the dead, I don't know. I love me Helena. Stavros is crazy. I wouldn't mind seeing him again one more time, but like, it's been so overdone with the Cassadines putting people on ice and bringing them back. Janet, you said, I had to rewind because I couldn't believe that Spencer called Trina baby. I've seen someone making that comment too. Laura did say there is an island that's isolated. Yeah, and that's what that island was. Because I've watched the Ice Princess story, the original from the 80s, in its entirety, and I do remember them saying that particular island was very isolated. They could only get there by boat. So they're definitely referring to the island that the Ice Princess, or sorry, the weather machine is on. Now, if they manage to recreate that island the way that they did in the 80s, I'll be impressed. Because even though GH was on location on the boats and at the shore, the island itself was a set. And they had like a built-in waterfall on it. You know, like it was like clearly very fake, but it was a cute set. It was a cute set. Maybe I'll try to find a clip before we wrap things up here. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that island recreated, and I hope that waterfall recreated too. Everyone is heading down to Venezuela. Who do we think Felicia's referring to, you guys? Is it like... She knows someone, and is it bad that I'm hoping that we're going to see Frisco soon? We know Jack and Christina are on good terms. And Frisco coming back to help would be a nice surprise. But yeah, who do we think she's going to get to help? the cousin that died, like on Cassadine Island, or not Cassadine Island, no, Ice Princess Island. Oh gosh, I forget all the names. Okay, the characters that I can remember on there. Mikos, Victor, Alexandra Quartermain, or was she Cassadine? I feel like she was marrying a Cassadine or dating one. I don't know. There's a few others. Gladys going to help her what she's doing to Sasha. Man, she'll get what's coming to her. Like, realistically, it's gonna mean trouble for her to try to get Cody out of the way, because that's Selena's money getter. You know, like Cody has been swindling Selena's guests out of their money, and now Gladys is responsible for getting him locked up. Selena is not going to be happy about that. Not at all. Are you talking about a Quartermain cousin? I don't know. I just remember that there was a Quartermain on the island with the Cassadines back then. I think she froze to death. I'm pretty sure she froze to death. Oh, and that, I don't know, like, if you guys have watched that Ice Princess storyline, the scene where, like, people get trapped and frozen is so eerie and creepy and, like, actually kind of scary. I watched it in Luke and Laura, Luke and Laura, the Ice Princess. Didn't she know a guy from Venezuela from the original Ice Princess story? Do you mean Felicia? Felicia wasn't a part of the Ice Princess story. Felicia didn't come on until a few years later. But obviously Felicia knows some, like, I'm trying to think. I don't know. Not sure. Maybe that's what we'll have to do, guys. We'll watch the Ice Princess storyline, like, not right away here, but maybe after this one, the current one on GH currently wraps up. Maybe we'll watch the originals for shits and giggles. Maybe there's another ice machine somewhere else. Put in the sink on the spot. I don't know. I mean, we've seen the Ice Princess machine, or like the weather machine, like, over the years. We've seen it over the years. Janet, you think Frisco? I hope so. I want to see Jack Wagner on GH again. And hopefully, like, they put Felicia and Frisco in a place where Frisco's not pining for her and he's accepted, like, Felicia and Mac as a couple. You know, like, I don't want to see any, like, weird rivalry anymore, because that ship sailed, and obviously they can't really put Frisco and Felicia back together because it would be probably a little uncomfortable to play a romance from, you know, for Jack and Christina, as long as, you know, they do get along as parents, but, you know, don't put them through that. That's all I'm saying. Don't put those poor people through that. They had to do that in the 50th anniversary. And, you know, they were very professional about it. They've played lovers on other shows before, too. But this one would be a little bit special for Christina and Jack, because Felicia and Frisco is how they met, so... Oh, Freddie, you said Willow's just looking more and sad and pitiful in every scene as she's crying. Oh, she's going to die. Girl, you're going to live. Albrecht going to be saved, obviously. I'm so annoyed that they've just stretched this damn storyline even longer. You know what I mean? I'm so over it. And Portia saw Jordan and Dante was crying like Trina was dead and not missing. Well, I'm sure, like, knowing... Well, I think... They already knew that Spencer's been kidnapped, right? They're probably assuming that Trina's with him. And to them, they're God knows where. Does anyone remember Hutch being involved with the Ice Princess? Was he? Because Hutch was a part of the left-handed boy story, right? Like the original Luke and Laura story. And my memory's a bit foggy. I don't know like what happened to Hutch after the left-handed boy storyline. But I liked Hutch. He was a bad guy turned good mid-story. No one can get a hold of Trina, yeah. And they know that she was with Spencer last, so they're going to put 2 and 2 together. Okay, while we talk, I am going to put I'm going to put a clip of the island set on while we talk. I'm not going to play any sound. Just because I feel like it might have music that's copyrighted on it. Because there was a certain song that played throughout the whole storyline. And it affected even the YouTube channel that it was originally uploaded on. To the point where they had to remove the video and re-upload it and mute the parts where that music was playing. So just to be on the safe side, because I don't know. We're just going to watch it on silence. And we're eventually going to watch this storyline on its own anyway. But yeah, there is the fake island set, y'all, with the waterfall. A very dirty Robert Scorpio, because he was also involved in the story. They probably had so much fun doing this, though. Like, come on. Would you guys not want to see, like, Spencer take a dive into a pond to get clean? And, you know, drink some clean water. And for context, though, Luke, Laura, and Robert all snuck onto that boat that got them to this island. Freddie, you said Portia definitely going to go off when she sees Trina again. Oh, for sure. I mean, I don't know how receptive Trina's going to be when she returns, because obviously they're still in a bit of an awkward situation with each other, you know? Classic. Man, it had to be, like, because Tony and Tristan always went off script, it had to be a fun experience for Jeannie as well. I mean, it was probably fun for all three of them. Tony and Tristan clearly got along well, and I think they were besties in real life too. Would rather see Spencer dirty after that towel scene. I mean, hey, it's just another reason for him to take his shirt off. That's so funny. Anyway, yeah, that's the clip that I wanted to... Well, it has the island. I just wanted you guys to see what the island set looked like back then. And I hope... I don't know if they'll be able to recreate a whole waterfall. Because that's, you know... I'm sure it costs a lot of money to have that much water flowing. But... You know, they have rainstorms. They have rainstorms on GH every now and then. So we'll see. We'll see. Spencer been in the gym. He sure has. I feel like I noticed that. I feel like I swear I made a comment at some point where like it seemed a few weeks must have gone by because all of a sudden like Spencer had a haircut and he was suddenly way more buff than ever. Like I feel like GH went dark and then Nicholas bulked up. Oh man. Thank you, Dion. That was awesome. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I think once the Ice Princess storyline that we're currently watching on GH ends, I think we'll watch the Ice Princess storyline. It's a great story. It's obviously it's a bit unbelievable, but we're clearly running back to that story anyway here in the present day. You know, cast irons, weather machines. The premise of that story is that they actually freeze Port Charles in the middle of summer. So I think, I don't know, maybe that's what we're heading for again. We'll see. We'll see. My question is, did Victor have access to that machine before? Because they had that random one day, remember 2021 or 2022, where it was just boiling hot in February for one day and then it was over. Oh man. I have so many questions. My bet though is that GH will hope that we forgot about that one scene because it was so blink and you miss it and it's been so long. But some of us pay attention and we remember like every little detail. Five-year difference isn't bad. Nicholas and Nicole matches beautifully to sign y'all we are meant to be. I like the Luke and Laura and Robert Cassadine Alley and 80s Adventure. I do too. I love that story. I binged that whole thing, you know, like when Jeannie Francis first came back in 2006, I had no idea who Laura was. I didn't know the phenomenon of Luke and Laura. And I binged that story. I binged both. I binged both the Ice Princess and the Left-Handed Boy storylines because there was so much excitement and I was so confused of like why my grandmother and why my mom were like freaking out and I'm like, oh, you know, I was like, man, can you find the one with Hutch scenes? But like Hutch wasn't, I think Brooklyn, I don't think Hutch was in the Ice Princess story. I don't remember him being in that story. I remember him being in Left-Handed Boy. Like, didn't he go to jail? Yeah, but Kaiwan, like, they wouldn't mention it. You know what I mean? Like, there had to have been a reason they just randomly made it hot the one day. Like, GH isn't gonna just randomly do that for the sake of like continuity with New York's weather styles. You know what I mean? Remember seeing Jeannie Francis? Yeah, Jeannie Francis did go to Days for a while. Freddie, that was the best of times. Truly, the 80s is my favorite era of GH. Man, I've watched so many 80s storylines on YouTube. A lot of them sadly aren't on YouTube anymore, but like I've binged so many of them, you guys. I wish I was alive in the 80s. I'm a 1990 boy on the dot. 1990. But at least I watched them afterwards and I appreciated them, and it made me appreciate the veteran actors and characters a lot more. And that's why I'm such a fighter for like those veteran actors and for them to get stories. Just because they were so good and they were in an era that was so iconic for GH, you know? And hopefully Sprina will create another iconic era. I can't remember the last time someone has put a soap couple on Times Square, you know? Or flown their name on an airplane. Sprina fans are diehard, y'all. Like I don't next to nothing about the fandom of Sprina overall. But from what I've seen, they are fierce in a good way. They are ride or dying. Like, even when I'm thinking back, like, I can't recall a time where, like, J-Sam's name was, like, flown on an airplane or put in Times Square. And that's, like, you know, J-Sam, a lot of people do consider them a super couple. I don't personally, as much as I loved J-Sam. My opinion was that the super couple era ended after Sonny and Brenda, and there hasn't been a super couple since. There's been power couples, there's been amazing couples, but there haven't been super couples since that era. And I still stand by that in terms of like what my definition of a super couple was, because I often, you know, mention it's the combination of not just the actors' chemistry, but the larger than life storylines that they got, the clear investments that the writers and the showrunners had in those couples, you know. And they had really nothing to go on, you know, all, except for like maybe fan mail. Just like social media wasn't a thing, the internet wasn't a thing. So that original era of super couples is done. But if we were to redefine it, I think that Sprina could kind of set that standard in terms of like new era super couple. Did fans pay for the billboard? The fans did. That's what I'm saying. The fans did. I don't remember fans going that hard for J-Sam or like any of the other couples. Yeah, they're not a super couple. Little comparison. That's what I'm saying. Like there will never be another Luke and Laura. There will never be another Robert and Holly. There will never be another, Frisco and Felicia. They're in their own league, and they will forever be, for many reasons. I'm just saying that if they were to redefine it into a new definition of that kind of is more the standard for like this era of soaps, when you know the ratings are not so great for soaps, and that soaps are a dying medium, and there's not a huge fan following of soaps these days. What about Patrick and Robin? No, I loved Patrick and Robin, but they were not a super couple. I adored Scrubs, but they were not a super couple. No one past Sonny and Brenda since the 90s have been a super couple. There's been power couples. J7 is a super. I don't think I disagree, Angel. I like they're like when you compare like the super couples of yesteryear, unless you were to redefine it in the 2000s as well, which is valid. You know, you could mention like 80s era super couples, 90s era super couples, but like I don't know. J7's fan base wasn't rich and organized like Sprina. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't see fans investing in their money into fictional characters for soaps. That's what I'm talking about. I feel like this is like a new standard that maybe we can go by, because like GH don't have the money to do that, but the fans do, and if they're willing to spend it, then I feel like we could like define, you know, a new definition for super couples for this era of soaps. Jason and Sam were my super couple. I adored them. They were a fantastic couple. They were a power couple for sure. But in the original definition of the word, they were not a super couple. They were like Bonnie and Clyde, but they were, you know. And I do feel like in terms of all the couples that were on GH back then, they were definitely like leading the pack in terms of popularity. And that's why they kept on getting back together. But man, did they implode them like crazy in 2007. Do you want your thing to say you gotta do it yourself? Well, be yourself, huh? Jordan and the PCBD weren't here with Gladys's mess at all. They sure weren't. They were busy doing things that they cared about. Luke and Laura didn't need the media to make them the most watched super couple. Facts. But facts, yeah, for sure. But I also think like it was more than just their chemistry. It was the storylines. It was the fact that, you know, Gloria Monty, again, she was doing things that soaps had never done before. Not only soaps back before the Luke and Laura era, they were all about baby mama drama and love affairs and, you know, like just that kind of stuff. Your typical stuff that still happens in modern day GH. But Gloria Monty turned that sort of idea of soaps over its head, and she was starting to tell like sci-fi stories, you know, putting in mobsters and weird like, you know, on the run storylines, things that never have been done on soaps before that era. And on top of that, she was going on location shoots. She was investing all this money and like making GH the only soap that went on location back then, and then other soaps followed suit. She was an innovator. She started the trend, and then this other soaps followed. And, you know, the reality is soaps just can't do that anymore because they've been around for so long that they've done every kind of story under the sun. There's not really anything new that they could do at this point. So, and that's why I feel like, in that sense, that there will never be another Luke and Laura kind of era for soaps. You know what I mean? Yeah, she brought action and adventure to soaps. Exactly, Kaiwan. When did Gloria Monty start writing for the show? I think she started in 79, I think. I think she was 79 because she put Laura and Scotty together. She was the one that put Laura and Scotty together, and then she saw lightning in a bottle with Luke and Laura and rolled with it. So, you know. Yeah. 79 or 78 is when Gloria Monty started. Janet, you said, I love J-Sam, but I didn't like them as much until I watched the old clips on YouTube. That was because I was blinded by Dimple, Sunny, and Brenda. Oh, man. A young black girl being the object of desire, and especially a dark-skinned black girl. We black women love to see it. Preach, girl. When did she stop? Gloria Monty? Gloria... I can't remember exactly when she stopped, but she stopped and she left and she came back for a bit, and her second tenor was not successful. And I feel like her second tenor was very early 90s, like 1990. And then left again after like 1 or 2 years. But there was a gap between her tenors for sure. I wonder if I can probably just Google it. Why don't I just Google it, you guys? Gloria Monty General Hospital. Let's find out together, guys. Gloria Monty. Okay. We got the times here. So Gloria Monty was executive producer from 1978 to 1987, and then she came back from 1990 to 1992. And she was also a head writer for a bit as well. But it doesn't say when. Thinking Willow might be a bit soft on Nina. I saw that this week. She's kind of gone soft a little bit on Nina, but I expected that to happen. I did. Nina's been very careful and trying to be as respectful because she knows that she did Willow dirty. You know what I mean? And she is trying her best to make up for it. And, Willow's not heartless. She can see that she's trying and she's being as by the book as Willow wants her to be. And I think that Willow just appreciates that and that she's not over prying and things like that. She's just letting Willow give what she's willing to give to her and being patient in that sense. Which is impressive for Nina because she sucks as a human being in every other way. Oh, man. Yeah, let me just read what they're saying about her in this page here. Gloria Monty, I mean. Fred Silverman, the head of ABC at the time, gave Monty 13 weeks to turn the show around, with cancellation threatened if she did not succeed. It subsequently became the top-rated American daytime drama and won several daytime Emmys. To accomplish this turnaround, she increased the show's pace, pacing is key, and focused main storylines on younger characters to reach out to younger viewers, particularly the pairing of ingenue Laura Spencer, Jeannie Francis, and troubled criminal Luke Spencer, Anthony Geary, whom she knew from his stint on her previous series, Bright Promise. That I didn't know, actually. She gave the sets a more contemporary look and feel and employed production techniques once used only in prime time. One major result of the Monty Revolution was the faster pace of the show, effectively doubling the number of scenes in each episode. She was known for her rigid work ethic and for being tough with the cast and crew. She demanded excellence, but she rewarded it, said coordinating producer Jerry Bellum. Monty was accused of perpetrating dangerous misconceptions about rape, implicitly exalting violence against women, but Monty viewed the rape as a choreographed seduction under her tenor. See, it was rewritten to be a seduction, and then once she left, they kind of started addressing it more so as a rape. But under her tenor, General Hospital rose to the top spot in the ratings, with Luke and Laura's 1981 wedding being the highest rated episode in daytime history, about 30 million viewers and 13 million households. Monty's Revolution consisted of couples such as Luke and Laura, Frisco and Felicia, and Robert and Holly. She and various head writers also created the Quartermain family, Bobby Spencer, Luke Spencer, Robert Scorpio, Anna Devane, Robin Scorpio, the Cassadine family, and many others who would dominate the show in the 80s and early 90s. So there we go. That's that on that. Man. Well, guys, it's been a good live stream, but I think I'll end it soon. This Sunday, I'll be back to recap the show and, share my thoughts on the week as a whole. Angel, you said it's amazing how they spun Luke and Laura because how they started out sends a bad message. It really does. Jake, you said her impact. Yeah. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have had GH for as long as we do have. I do have to give credit where it's due because GH was on the verge of cancellation and Frank Valentini did turn things around on the 50th year. And here they are 10 years later after that. So credit where credit is due. But man, it was Gloria Monty who changed GH forever, you know? Like, they did, she did a wonderful job, and I loved the stories that she told. Yeah, the Luke and Laura rape, definitely questionable. It was also a different time back then, so I don't know how things were really seen. But I guess, you know, I'm of the belief that it must have been good enough writing that the audience could see past, you know, the rape and just see, you know, them like falling in love and you know, it just was what it was. It was not an okay route, but it worked and it put GH on the map somehow. Made my day. Was feeling angry because I missed the episode today and I don't have Hulu anymore. Oh. Now I feel good. Well, I'm glad you feel good, Kaiwan. Check out Days every once in a while. I have no time to take on any other shows, okay, Kaiwan? I am not much of a TV watcher. I've got the brain capacity for one soap and like 2 primetime shows, and that's it. Good night, and thank you so much. Good night, Brooklyn. Good night, Sandy. Can't get away with that storyline today. For sure not. And if they try it again, shame on them. But yeah, good night, everyone. If you like this live stream, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys this Sunday for a General Hospital after show live stream. Peace out. Mwah.